Welcome, everyone. I'm your host, Tammy Adams. I talk with your guardian angels and spirit guides, guiding, healing, and teaching you how to have a fulfilled life and living your purpose, healing karma and bringing forth good karma. Now on to the show. Welcome to another amazing show. We are going to be talking about some stuff that I'm very interested in, and I'm sure you are interested in as well. It is called about past loved ones. Yes, we are going to talk about past loved ones. Where are those amazing, beautiful spirit guides that we know that are out there? We know they want to talk to us. We know they want to share life with us, even in the afterlife. Isn't that awesome? Think about that for a second. Can you actually talk to your past loved ones? Hello? Of course you can. I'm going to share a story with you guys that was really funny, but actually kind of sad, but actually funny. So I'm a little girl. When I first discovered and realized that I have this amazing gift that I thought everyone had, I thought everyone was like me. So to me, I was like, oh, well, everyone talks to angels. Everyone talks to God. Everyone talks to Jesus. Everyone talks to Mother Mary. This is normal. So, to me, I just thought it was normal. It was just, and especially being brought up, being truly created so that I can be this amazing nun and this amazing holy person. It's like we lived, ate, slept, breathed in the church, love Jesus, love God. So I'm just thinking in my mind, of course, it says in the Bible, every single person can talk to God. It says in the Bible, every single person can talk to their guardian angels. It says Moses talked to his angels. It said Abraham talked to his angels. So I'm thinking in my mind, oh, well, this is normal because this is what everyone talks about. And of course, it's what everyone, talks about at home, in our home as well. So I'm thinking, well, then it should be okay to share this story with my family. So I'm 5 years old and I'm sitting inside of my room playing. It's probably like, gosh, I don't know, 4 o'clock maybe. And I'm in my room playing, and then all of a sudden, my father's cousin comes to me. And he's in a casket, and he's wearing a really good-looking suit, and it was like a blue suit with a red tie, and he was really, really quite young. He wasn't that old. He was probably late 20s, early 30s. And I'm just sitting there going, oh, what are you doing in there? And then he goes, well, you got to do me a favor. And I said, sure. Yeah. What's going on? And he goes, your mom and dad is going to go to a thing today. I said, a thing? What are they going to go to? He goes, well, they're going to go to come see my wife and my kids. And I said, okay. He goes, you have to give my wife a message. And I said, sure, of course. Yeah. I said, well, why can't you tell her? I don't realize this man is dead. And he said, you just got to do it for me. And I said, okay. And tell her that I wasn't drunk, that a drunk driver hit me and killed me. And I said, oh my gosh. And I had kind of sadness. And I said, you're dead? I said, what happened? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I'm just getting chills right now, even talking about it. And he said, I was driving on my way home. I guess his wife was pregnant. And they're getting ready to have another baby. He had 3 kids. Well, this was going to be his 3rd child. And obviously, she wanted something because it was late at night. And I guess, he heard her because, you hear when you die, they can still hear us. So she kept blaming him and said, oh, he went to go drink. He went to a bar. He went to go, get something to drink, and he probably forgot about everything. She wanted ice cream or food or something. He didn't tell me, or maybe he did and I forgot. But the bottom line is, he went to go get what she wanted, and on his way home, a drunk driver killed him and flipped his car, and he died. So he was trying to tell me, go to my wife, tell her all these things, and let her know how much I love her, and I can't wait for our baby to be born. I'm so sorry. I'm so broken because I'm not with her, but, he said all sorts of emotional things. So I walk out of my room and I tell my mother exactly what my father's cousin just told me. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, how do you know that?" And then I got very seriously slapped and told to be locked in my room, and that now I was not allowed to get out of my room or go anywhere whatsoever. And I was like, wait a second, I'm thinking in my mind. I just gave her a very important message, and I'm in trouble? I'm in trouble for telling her what my cousin just said? My dad's cousin just told me to share a message with his wife, and I'm in trouble? So now I'm crying and I'm just devastated, thinking, how am I in trouble? What did I do wrong? Literally all I'm doing is sharing, what the spirit said. My dad's cousin came. He's sweet. I told him what he was wearing. I gave her every specific detail. I know for a fact that what my abilities and my gifts are way more than most people's. I get it that people don't realize that your spirit guides and past loved ones are hanging over your shoulders, watching over you, looking, helping, holding you up, saving you literally from danger or any other type of circumstances most of the time. You don't realize that they're sitting right beside you. See, I can't wait to do a live show because I want you guys to call so we can talk to your past loved ones. I want you guys to call so we can sit there and say, "Hey, what's Sally doing today? What's Mary Beth doing? What's going on with Jacqueline? Oh yeah, and what did Susie say?" Literally, they have so much to say when I talk with them. They are chatterboxes, blah, 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 chatter, chatter, chatter. And they're sweethearts. Some of them, little conceited, they like to talk a little bit too much about themselves. Well, I used to look good. I used to do this, but tell my person, this and this and this. And I just laugh and I just crack up because I can't believe how they talk about themselves and how they have these personalities that are so funny, and they're exactly as they were when they were alive. Exactly. So when you're talking with your past loved ones and sitting there and just saying, "Hey, are you there? Hey, did you guys leave me? Are you guys still around?" I promise you, I know you think this is crazy. For some people who lack faith, I promise you they're there. Of course, your past loved one's there. Do you know how? Well, besides my stories that I know, do you know how I know they're there? Because it's been proven. You know those people who go through, it's called after death. It's like they die and then they come back. Well, I went through that twice in this lifetime, unfortunately. But it was pretty awesome. When you die and you come back to life, those people, let's not use me as an example, have these experiences that are seeing those who have been dead, are talking to those who have been dead, share a story, and then come back to life. We have evidence, factual, scientific evidence. There's life after death. And then heart starts working, whatever happens, blood starts pumping through the body. All of a sudden, this dead person's alive again. And they have these experiences. Doesn't matter whether they're atheists, doesn't matter whether they're religious, doesn't matter if they're God knows what religion. They all have the same experience. Pretty much. Maybe a different person meeting them, but same story. You are blessed, you who are listening, because you have an opportunity to learn today how to connect to your past loved one. How do you communicate with your spirit guides and sit there and say, I want to talk to you. I want to know this. I want to know this. I want this door open. How do we as a amazing species on this planet, how do we push away these awesome people and say, nah, I don't want to talk to my past loved one. I'm too scared because they just might say something I don't want to hear. Well, that's not a very good idea, in my opinion, because usually when you talk to your past loved ones, like just recently, I think I talked about it not too long ago. I was working with a client a couple weeks ago who came in, and I was teaching a class, about how to communicate with your lost loved ones. And of course, these people come in, it's a huge group of people, and I'm doing the sound bowls and I'm teaching and meditating. And as I'm working with them, this one girl's brother came through who was murdered, and he died, and he was apologizing and telling me how, can you tell my sister it's my fault. I should have not done what I did. If I wouldn't have done this, and if I wouldn't have done this, I'd still be alive today. I'm very sorry. Tell her I love her. He was telling me how she's going to be pregnant soon. I guess he saw the baby in her stomach and she didn't know about it yet. Anyways, and he shared a lot of information with me. The point is, she's crying, and she's telling me how her brother was murdered and how could it be his fault, and she doesn't understand, and it's not his fault that he was murdered, and da-da-da-da. And I said, no, if he wasn't doing the things he was doing in regards towards the bad behaviors that had to do with alcohol and drugs, and got into a fight and was consumed with, other stuff, that's where he's saying it's his fault. Because he tried quitting, but he was, around negative influences. It's not like the people wanted to murder him. It wasn't a negative situation like these people were after him. But the point is that when you look at the negative experiences we go through, and we're holding on to these emotional, painful experiences, and we're holding on to the sadness, like this little girl's holding on to her brother who was murdered, which still is horrific. I mean, nothing good about the situation, what I'm sharing with all of you today. But it's a great example of how she's holding on to the pain and the frustration and the suffering, but yet she's not open enough to listen to what her brother's trying to tell her, how to fix the situation, how to use the evidence in the court, how he was murdered. He's giving me the secrets. He's telling me the information. If you guys are listening, right? I can't tell you how many murder cases I've been on, literally guiding these people and telling them. Some of them have been on TV. Of course, no one knows it's me that's behind all of it. And literally, God only knows how these people react, hearing the evidence that I give to my clients saying, this is what your spirit, the person who passed away is telling me, how they died, what happened, da-da-da-da. Point is, you can hear this on your own. If you close your eyes, start focusing on allowing yourself to learn how to receive from your spirit guide, from your person who's passed away. Receiving means allowing yourself to hear them, feel them, see them, sense them. There's no right or wrong way to receive from them, but you want to receive from them in some way. Hearing, seeing, feeling, sensing. Okay? It even could be a dream, guys. You could be having a dream, thinking it's a dream, but in real life you were in another dimension receiving messages from your past loved one. They always come back. We sometimes deny them. And we sometimes push them away. And we're like, nah, I'm too scared. I don't want to go there. I don't want to see them or feel them or know them or, I'm too scared. What if they look ugly? What if they scare me? And I'm like, okay, why would somebody who totally loved you scare you? Why do we get scared of this metaphysical world, of this other dimension that we were before? Don't think that this was your first life and you haven't been here before. Don't think this is your first rodeo. Because when you think of the spirit world, when I think of the spirit world, I know it's awesome. There's nothing scary about the spirit world. What's scary is the human world. Because this is where there's chaos. This is where there's manipulation. This is where there's the daily story of we're here to suffer. Even though this world we live in today is supposed to be the best, most amazing experience, an awesome adventure, we allow ourselves to give others permission to take away that happiness. But in the spirit world, no. It is not manipulation, scary ghouls and goblins or any of that. No, it is not. It is awesome. It is a place of such joy and celebration. It is a place of excitement and pleasure and, I don't want to say perfection, but perfection. I gotta say it. I really do need to say that. You know why I have to say that? Because when you think of the world, think of it just for 1 second. And you hear about the war, and you hear about people killing themselves or killing others or killing children and I can't even speak because I'm so upset. Killing mothers and killing children and killing families for no reason. No reason. People judging others, whether they're God knows what culture, what tradition, judging for no reason. And what we forget, and this is what makes me laugh all the time, we forget that we are exactly the same. We are all humans. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what religious belief you are. We have the same blood, the same insides, veins, arteries, bones, heart, eyes, mouth, nose, ears, hair, toes, fingers, nails, etc. We forget that we've all come from the same place. We may be living a different experience every time we come, living in a different culture, living in a different race, living in a different location. But I promise you, we've all come from the same place. When you came here with an agreement. And these past loved ones that are trying to talk to you and say, hey, my person, hey, what's up? What's going on? I got to talk to you. I'm trying to warn you of something. Or, hey, my person, I'm trying to tell you something so that you can wake up and so you can realize how you can succeed even further. Hey, my amazing, beautiful wife or daughter, I'm trying to tell you something so that you can allow yourself to be absolutely joyful with the information I'm going to give you today. But you're too scared because you don't want to see a ghost. Or you're too scared because you don't want the message of how to help yourself. You don't want to hear how to change. You don't want to hear how to transform. Because inside of you, secretly, you're afraid. Because if you change, then you just might be responsible for everything else that's going to go along with the change. But I can promise you, and this is a promise that I know There's no way possible it can be broken. The moment you allow yourself to change for yourself and not for everybody else, that's the day that you will start discovering the road to success and happiness. Yes, I said it. Also, it will become easier for you to communicate and connect with your past loved ones, your spirit guide. Maybe it's a spirit guide or a past loved one that's come from another lifetime. Have you ever thought of that? You know how many times I've worked with people? This is actually a really fun conversation. Do you know how many times I've worked with people and they've actually connected with their past loved ones from other lifetimes, and they were more help than the humans that were in this lifetime? It's actually the most hilarious experience and funnest time that I have with people. When you think for a minute, you were born a girl, but you feel masculine, right? And then you think, oh my gosh, I think in my past life I was a guy. Or you're a male and you feel feminine, and then you realize, oh my gosh, in my past life I was a girl. We share these different experiences in these different bodies so that we can understand how to be well-versed energetically, spiritually, and emotionally. It's not about changing ourselves and continuing to try to figure out how to fit in the body we have. We've already made this decision. I'm going to be feminine in a man's body. I'm going to be masculine in a woman's body, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we come up with these amazing adventures that we create in our lives. But guess what we forget? We forget that we have helpers from our past lives that have passed away that are still there going, because they decided obviously not to come back and do it all over again. And they said, I need a 100-year break. Or maybe I need a 200-year break. Some people need a 500-year break. And that's all good, because guess what? We are the ones who make the decision whether we're going to live or not. We make the decision. You, personally, you know who I'm talking to, made the decision to sit there and say, yep, I'm going to come back. I'm going to do it all over again. This time, I want a more challenge. So I'm going to be born to this and this family because I need to have a challenge this time, because last time I had a really great life and I feel like it was too easy. So this time I want a challenge. And sometimes we do that. I know for a fact I asked for a challenge. Guaranteed asked for a challenge. And boy, oh boy, did I regret it? Sometimes I regret it. Not going to lie about that one. But that challenge makes us who we are today, because we're able to see the path and we're able to look if we do the right choices, because there's all these different paths we can take. And if we do the right choices, then we will succeed at what we planned on succeeding at before we even came here on this planet. But if you take the advice of your past loved ones, right? And you're listening to your ancestors, you're listening to those who have been around, and you're talking with them and communicating with them and listening to them through your senses, seeing, hearing, feeling, sensing, or dreaming of these past loved ones, and receiving the messages and keeping journals and logs and figuring out, oh, this is what I'm being told. This is what I'm being told. This is how I fix it. This is how I turn left, turn right, go straight, go backwards. And you're understanding what needs to be done so that you can allow yourself to communicate clearly with your past loved ones through these gifts of sensing, seeing, feeling, dreaming. Connect with these amazing opportunities to talk to your past loved ones so that you can succeed at fulfilling your destiny in this lifetime. To think that we're alone and that we're stuck here to suffer or to struggle blows my mind. I know we have helpers out there. I know, because I talk to them all the time. And I know those amazing beings that are out there are waiting to sit there and talk with you and sit and say, hey, I want to know how you did today. Da, 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 da. This is what I would advise you to do better. And they tell us things that are so real and so awesome. There was a lady I was working with today, as a matter of fact, before I'm here doing a show for all of you today. And there was a lady I was talking to today, and her mother was apologizing. Her mother's passed away. And this woman owns her own company. She has a baby. She has children, blah, blah, blah. She's good. She's far from struggling on a human level. But emotionally, there's a lot of blockages. And her so I'm talking to her about cleansing, cleaning her energy. And her mother's sitting there, and her mother goes, who's passed away? You have to tell her I'm sorry that I didn't let her dance. You have to tell her I apologize that I did not give her the opportunity to be the dancer she could have been, because you don't understand how much my baby loved dancing. And I'm thinking in my mind, okay, am I going to repeat this? Should I not repeat this? Because we're in the middle of talking about something very serious. And, I don't want to upset the client. So I'm trying to sit here and, just stay on the focus of the subject. And then her mother said it again. And I said, listen, I got to tell you what your mother's saying. Your mother just is apologizing. I have to interrupt. Your mother's apologizing because she said she's sorry that she did not let you dance. And you were an amazing dancer. And this 50-something-year-old woman is now crying, like massively crying. What did you just say? And she was trying to catch her breath. And I said, your mother said that she's sorry because she didn't let you dance? And she said you were a really good dancer? And I was a little bit nervous. And she goes, oh my gosh, I cannot believe you just said that. I cannot believe you just said that. And she's just like shaking her head, and she's grabbing lots of tissues and blowing her nose and wiping her eyes. She goes, I love dancing. She goes, you don't understand. I only ever wanted to do in my life was to dance. All I ever wanted. The only thing I wanted was to dance. My sister danced, but she didn't like it. So my mother figured, well, if she wasted all that money on my sister that was so much older and she didn't do anything good with dancing, then why should she do it for me? So she didn't even let me dance. She didn't even give me I never went to one dance class. I said, oh my gosh, poor princess. I'm so sorry to hear that. I said, well, your mother realizes it now and she's apologizing. Bottom line, we realized this is the number one thing that blocked and destroyed this woman. This is one of her huge, massive interferences energetically and emotionally and spiritually. Because when you're told no and you close yourself off because someone has devastated that little perfect child inside of you, then you all of a sudden become rebellious and want to do everything else but let your dreams come true. So when you have the relationship with your spirit guides and you have that connection to your spirit guides, mom, dad, past loved ones from past lives, and you communicate with them and they share these stories with you like they share with me, I cannot tell you, not just the reward, but the healing that takes place by building the relationship, communicating with your lost loved ones, and knowing that your past loved ones are right there with you. They never leave your side. They love you and adore you. And they will never leave you stranded. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of another amazing episode about karma and spirituality. To all my earth angels out there, God bless. I look forward to hearing from all of you. Email me, karmatalkshow@gmail.com, or you can join me on Instagram, The Karma Talk Show. Until next time, God bless to each and every one of you. This was an amazing episode. I look forward to connecting with you all soon.